I am making Greek meatballs for dinner, and I am using our brand new Pampered Chef meatloaf mix to make them. So you start out with 2 pounds of ground meat of your choice. So I'm actually using a pound of ground turkey and a pound of Italian sausage. Obviously, you could use all ground turkey, you could use ground chicken, ground beef. I usually use ground turkey as at least part of mine because it's leaner, and I do Weight Watchers, so it just helps it to be lower in points. But my husband doesn't love it when it's all ground turkey generally, so tonight I'm doing part ground turkey, part sausage, and it works for both of us. So to that, we are going to add just a half a cup of milk, 2 eggs, and meatloaf mix. It's got everything else in it that you need, all the seasonings. And this is not the first time I'm trying it. We have already tried it before, and it's really, really good. So all that's in the bowl. Now from here, you do you. You can put on gloves, mix it with your hands. You could be mixing this in your stand mixer. I am using my clean hands and I'm getting in there. So if you don't like that, look away at this point. Okay, so it's all mixed together, and now magically you just go wash it off of your hands. It's no big deal. It really isn't. So the meat is all combined now with the meatloaf mix, the eggs, and the milk. I've got my Pampered Chef medium scoop, and I am just going to start scooping these out, and that way they're all gonna be mainly, basically the same size. I will roll them into actual balls after I get them scooped up here. So I've got a bunch of them scooped out. Now I'm just gonna roll them to where they're meatball shaped. And again, if you wanna wear gloves, wear gloves. If touching raw meat grosses you out. And I'm not overworking the meat. If you do that, if you like squeeze it or squish it too much, then your meatballs are gonna be really dense. So when you're mixing up your meat mixture and when you're forming it into the balls, don't overwork it. A little tip there. So here's where you decide how you want to cook the meatballs. These could be cooked in the air fryer. They could be cooked in a skillet. They could be put onto a sheet pan and cooked in the oven. I am using a double burner griddle that I have because I can make all of them at one time. So that's what I'm doing. But you can really just, however you want to cook your meatballs, that's what you need to do at this point. So I'm just gonna get them going on the griddle. So like I mentioned in the beginning, this meatloaf mix that we have now, it's for 2 pounds of meat. So if you have a large family, obviously you guys may need all of these meatballs for one meal, or maybe one meal and some leftovers. It is just my husband and me, so this makes a lot of meatballs. But I can do batch cooking this way. I can make a whole recipe of meatballs, have some in the freezer, and then I can pull them out and use them for other things, for another meal later on. Whether that's spaghetti and meatballs, or whether we're doing kind of a Swedish meatball thing. Tonight we're actually doing Greek meatballs. That's what I'm making these for. So it's good for making things ahead because you're cooking them anyway. You can just cook them all. Another tip that I wanted to show you guys. So when you are cooking anything either in a skillet or like on this griddle that I'm using, this is a non-stick griddle. So nothing is gonna like stick on it. They're really easy to clean. However, If I touch this meatball and it doesn't want to move yet, don't force it. It means it's not ready to be turned. Meat will release from your skillet when it has sealed or seared itself. So if you try to move it and it's like going, nope, let it be. So I'll show you what I was talking about. So like these right here, they're not ready to move. But if I come over here to this one, it's ready. It let go. And see, it is perfectly browned on the bottom and it's ready to be turned. So as they get ready to move, they're gonna let you know. So everybody is turned now and you can see they're getting nice and golden brown. No, you may think, oh, are those too dark? They're not. You want your meatballs to brown and to like sear. So they've got a nice outside texture to them. You don't want mushy. So whether it's like that is not burned, or this side, you are good to go. And then you're just gonna put it on its side to go all the way around the edges. And you can see how they're just letting go from the pan when they're ready to turn. So that's it. I'm gonna finish these meatballs and then we're actually gonna have, like I said, Greek meatballs for dinner, and I'll show you what it's like when it's all done. And I don't know about you, but when I'm making meatballs, I always have to test one, you know, quality control. So I'll do that with you guys. So it's hot, hot, hot. You can see the inside is not overworked. It's not gonna be too dense. And it's delicious. This meatloaf mix is so good, y'all. I've made meatloaf for us. I make mini meatloaves for us. Sorry. In our brownie pan, and I make them in the air fryer. That works out great for us because again, there's just the two of us. So it just helps with not having some giant meatloaf that we then have to then put the extras in the freezer or something. So I make minis, and it also works great for meatloaf sandwiches later if you're a meatloaf sandwich person. Do you like meatloaf? Put that in the comments. Where are my meatloaf people? But meatballs, very good choice. Very good choice. Since I'm having to do these in batches, I'm going to put the ones that are already cooked into my insulated serving bowl. So these are going to keep these hot while the other ones are cooking. It is great for so many things. Like if you try to get your family to the table and it's like herding cats, you can't get everybody there at one time. This is gonna keep food hot for a couple of hours. It's amazing. You can see how that's already fogging up the lid because it really traps the heat in there. So you can use it for any sorts of meats. You can use it for side dishes, mashed potatoes. There's different sizes. There's a smaller one for smaller side dishes. So when you think about the holidays coming up, you know, there's always some things that are ready before other things, and then you have to reheat. If you have these, you don't have to reheat because it's gonna keep it hot. So these are amazing. If you need to know about it, I can help you. And to go with our meatballs, I am making some air fryer potato wedges. And I'm gonna season them with our Greek seasoning and probably some of our rotisserie seasoning. But to make our wedges, I'm using our veggie wedger. So super cool, makes things quick and easy. Put your potato or other vegetable on there, and you see these two knots. There's slots on the handles there, and I gotta turn it around like this because that's how my hands just need to work. And you just go over the top of your potato. Ta-da! Instant potato wedges, all the same size. Which, if you are named Ruthie, you can never make them all the same size. So a tool to make it that way is fantastic. And it's just really fast and really simple. Veggie wedger. So I've got my potato wedges seasoned with our Greek seasoning and our rotisserie seasoning. Just gonna put it on my wire rack for my air fryer. And these are gonna go into the air fryer, 400 degrees for about 25 minutes. And they're gonna be golden brown and crispy and yummy. We eat these all the time, so good. All right, so the meatballs for Greek night are done. We've got our meatballs, lettuce, tomatoes, some feta cheese, some tzatziki sauce, and those air fryer potato wedges I was telling you about. Time to eat.